Now, there is a lot to this next guest. She served as the Sacramento County Deputy Sheriff for almost 2 decades and 2 consecutive terms on the Nevada County Civil Grand Jury. In 2007, she was appointed to the Grass Valley City Council, and in 2008 began her elected time with council. She has once again been elected to serve another 4 years. In addition, she was elected as the president of the League of California Cities and continues to serve on their board of directors. She is a founding member of the Women's Caucus and continues to serve on their board of directors. And she was elected to serve as the president of Women in Municipal Government. Later that year, she was elected to serve as the National League of City Board of Directors and currently serves as the chair of Small Cities Council. If there is one thing it's certain, Jan serves her community and beyond. Jan, wow, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for all of your commitments, for all of your dedication, and for being here with us today on Nevada County Now.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's always a pleasure.
So in all of the things that you have done over the past many years of service, anything come to your mind as being close to your heart or a favorite?
I think it depends on the year. Since I've been here since 2007, the Dorsey Drive Marketplace interchange, it was a huge back then. Then it was getting Mill Street Plaza.
That's right.
Closed, and it's such a showpiece for Grass Valley and the entire community and beyond. And working with a lot of the nonprofits on trying to do something about our homeless situation has always been very near and dear to my heart. And currently we're working on a joint project with the county on a new animal shelter.
Amazing.
So animals, again, another one of my near and dear to my heart type of thing. So yeah, there's a lot, and there has been a lot, and I'm sure that there will continue to be a lot. Yeah.
I am curious, what led you to public service, and what are you, well, we know what you're hoping to accomplish, but just in terms of, what was your entryway and your inspiration to become a public servant?
Okay, as you've said, I was served as a deputy sheriff in Sacramento County for a couple of decades, and which is public service. I was retired because I got injured on the job.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And no, I'm good, but it was, thank you. And so I moved to Grass Valley, served on the grand jury, and I had never intended to be in politics. I was encouraged to apply by people I had met on the grand jury. And so basically for them to quit coming up to my door, I applied with, I think there were 11 other people, and knew that there was no way they were going to select me. And I'm sitting in the back of the room and waiting for them to call somebody else's name so I could sneak out the door, and they unanimously appointed me.
Isn't it so interesting? We don't often know our true calling. It just can find us, right?
Exactly, exactly. And that's why I always tell people, the opportunity that you're looking for may not be what you're supposed to do.
That's very wise, Jan.
So it's like you kind of go, it's there, and I really didn't think I was going to actually run for re-election, and this is my fifth term. This will be my 5th term. Yeah,
incredible.
And I'm one of those people that when I believe in something, and when I commit to do something, I do it 110%. So that's why all the League of Cities stuff and the National League of Cities stuff. So
you dive all the way in.
I dive all the way in, yes.
That's inspirational, and it's very, I admire you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I am curious. I want to pick your brain a little bit.
Sure.
How do you feel that local politics fits into the bigger, maybe like regional or national realm of politics?
Well, actual local politics is where we get the most done. We really, truly do. We actually have that personal contact with our residents, and it's so important that you see somebody in the grocery store and they say, what about that pothole that's on such and such street?
That's right.
And so I think local politics plays into that, as so that we know what the public wants and what the public needs.
Mm-hmm.
When you go beyond this, beyond the local, and I'm including the county in that as well.
Okay.
When you go to the state level, you become distanced. And so the county and the city are both dependent upon the state and the federal government for funds, different funds and different pots of money. So, but they don't understand necessarily that some of the challenges locally, especially for a small rural community like ours, we have different issues, different challenges.
That's right.
And we often get painted with one big brush at like the bigger cities. And things that work in the bigger cities don't necessarily work in small cities like Grass Valley. I've really had a great education on that on a federal level the past couple of years, where I serve as a chair of the Small Cities Council for the National League of Cities. So seeing that the cities from different parts of the country, we still have the same unique issues. You know, how do we maintain our local control? How do we take charge of our own destiny? Because we know what that destiny should be.
Well said. I feel like I could ruminate on that for quite a while. But that actually does bring me to my next question, which is, how can a council member be really impactful in solving those bigger issues like homelessness, infrastructure, housing, the economy?
Stay engaged. You know, and I say that not just go to meetings, become part of the different commissions, part of the different committees, where you interact with different aspects of the community and with the county, and go a little beyond and go with the League of California Cities and start going on some of their policy committees. And you can see what other cities in the state of California are doing about transportation. What is the city of, let's say, Oroville doing about homeless issues or infrastructure? Is there a way that we can all connect and kind of pick each other's brains and see what works in a smaller community? So I encourage any new council members to do that. If you're engaged, and you're engaged on not just by staying in Grass Valley, but to spread out, you get to have some unique ideas.
You said the perfect thing, because why reinvent the wheel if somebody has rolled out a program or done something else successfully in a similar sized city? We can take those lessons and those, observe those pain points and really get an understanding of what might work in our community, what's not, and shorten the learning curve a little bit.
Right, and you also find out what didn't work. So if you're thinking about doing something for whatever it may be, infrastructure or whatever, and you say, well, this is what we're thinking, and we say, well, let me tell you why it didn't work in my city. So you can kind of go back and say, okay, I take those lessons and kind of tweak it to our own.
That's right. So interesting. So when somebody joins the city council as a new member, are they just, is it initiation by fire, or do they get a buddy, somebody that's maybe been on a while that can kind of mentor them into the role?
I think we've been very, very lucky and very fortunate. We have some amazing council members, in the past that have always welcomed a new person, kind of take them under their wing and show them that this is the way we do things. But this is how you do it, but this is why. This is why, that things have to be done this way. It's a learning curve, because when I came in, I knew nothing. I'd only lived in Grass Valley since 2003, so I'd only lived here for 4 years, and so I really didn't understand the issues. So I was very fortunate. The council at the time kind of embraced me, and our city manager embraced me. We did City Council 101. And
nice.
I think that is something that is extremely valuable, to get a basis and know why things are done. Because so many people say, well, why did you spend the money on, let's say, art and not on fixing a pothole? Well, because that money can only be used for art and
that's right,
and infrastructure. And so that's the learning curve, is to understand how government is unique in the way that they have to operate.
That makes a lot of sense. Jan, I'm curious, if there were to be, how do you feel about scorecards? For instance, a lot of more bureaucratic organizations or even independent institutes have this idea of giving mayoral campaigns, governors, counties, and cities at the city level scorecards about where the city is at in terms of education, housing, homelessness, jobs, weather patterns. How do you feel about that
I think that
to attract people to our area?
I think it's very useful. In one respect, we don't have anything formal like that in that I'm aware of in Nevada County. There may be people that are keeping score on us, but we don't know that yet. But I know that the chamber also kind of looks at the amount of visitors. They have some kind of an AI thing that pings your phone and they can tell where that person is from. When they come into Grass Valley, and did they go just to Mill Street, or did they go to some of the businesses and that type of thing? So I guess there's kind of a scorecard, but it's different. But I think it's something that we can learn from always.
Absolutely. Amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers before we sign off today?
Just that anybody who wants to be involved, talk to one of the council members. Okay. Come to a meeting. I'm always encouraging people to see what it's like. See if it's for you or not. And you might be surprised. You may not want to do it. But the thing is that at least stay engaged in the process so that you know and you can ask questions. I used to do Monday with the mayor when I was mayor, and people would come in and they would ask questions that we would never be able to answer in a meeting. So my understanding is the new mayor intends to continue that Monday with the mayor kind of thing.
Nice.
And so I think that just stay engaged with your local electeds.
Thank you for that. Jan, if people wanted to go to the meeting, is it posted on a website or is it?
Okay. And they're always the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month.
Okay.
At 6 p.m.
In person
in the council chambers. Not this month. We only have one meeting in December due to the holidays. So, but yeah, starting in January 2nd and 4th second and fourth Tuesday of each month at 6 o'clock in the council chambers. So I encourage anybody and everybody to come. We are also NC Media also films it. It goes on our YouTube channel. It goes on our website. So there are opportunities if you don't want to come in person for whatever. You just want to see what goes on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. It's been such a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you
so much, Jan.
Thank you.